Hey guys, welcome to a moment of sanity. In today's video, I'm here to talk about a problem that we usually have, a problem that is more common than you think is the problem of trying to look like something, trying to be something that you are not, trying to be something that's not your essence, trying to not be authentic, and most of the people live this way, and it's a really hard problem because we are social beings, we are all the time wanting to seek attention of the others, and it's really hard for the individual, the lonely individual, to be himself among the crowd. There's so many poets talking about this. The first poet that comes to my mind is Fernando Pessoa, from is a Portuguese a poet, that he says that he, even though he's among in the midst of people, but he still feel alone, and that's what happened, but most of the people, instead of feeling alone and taking the consequences that authenticity or being themselves give, that is sometimes feeling alone, especially if you're in an environment that they don't understand you or no one is trying to seek the same things that you're trying to seek. Instead of that, what happened is that people start to please people. They try to look like they are something, and this creates a huge problem in our society. How many problems could be avoided if people just try to be themselves? How many problems? When you go to the doctor, sometimes he doesn't even pay attention to you. I don't know you behind the camera, but me, sometimes when I go to the doctor, he doesn't even care. How many psychologists you go to talk with him and he just follow a simple schedule, a simple scheme, to a detailed plan that he tries to copy paste for every single person, and not taking people as individuals. The same thing about doctors, the same thing about lawyers, the same thing about many of the professions that we see there. Because people are not there to fulfill a vocation, to be themselves, to do what they were called to do in this world. They are there just to have a job, just to be well paid, just to get money. And that's a huge problem. Because when you're doing just to get money and your income is so consistent every single month, doesn't matter if you do well or not, the income is the same. Man, and that's, most jobs are like that. Man, you just, you feel zero motivation to do it better, So if you're not doing that for vocation, because it's your mission, it's part of you, it's your essence, you will not do it well, And most people are doing that either because they want to have just a job, or because it looks like something good in society. I felt the same way when I was finishing my bachelor and I did my internship in a school. This school, they contract me. They tried to contract me, actually. They really liked my job. I was doing my bachelor in education. They really liked my job. They really liked, the way that I work, because I'm a person that is practical. I go there and solve the problem. I like to, when people give me problems, I want to solve them and etc. So they really like this kind of mindset, because not every single person has some flexibility and etc. I think that this is a good thing about me, because I changed places once I was a child so many times, like different countries. That, this gave me a capacity to to be flexible with different cultures. But the thing is, like, they wanted to contract me, and what was my temptation? My temptation was to, because they had a good payment for a teacher. I was like, man, this payment that they will give me, none of my classmates they will have. It had a good payment. I would have a visa. It would be amazing, because I would have my working visa, and I could probably stay there. But just one thing that I would need to give up. I would need to give up my vocation. I would need to give up my ambitions, because that's cool. The working hours are crazy. It's not that they have, it's those kind of schools that you sign a contract that is 8 hours in the beginning, but in practice is not really 8 hours. Like they ask you to do extra stuff and etc. And you just, it's a little bit far from my house, considering where I live. I live in such a small place that everything is near here, and it's one of the furthest thing ever. It's like takes an hour and something to arrive there and to come back. And the thing is, like, when I was doing my internship, it was clear to me. I even told my girlfriend, it will arrive a point that I would need to choose. I would choose my vocation. I would choose my ambitions. I would choose my dreams. I would choose to be myself, or I would choose what my parents expect from me. I would choose what people from the church expect from me. I would choose what society expects from me. Everyone, if I felt like, if on that time I took that, if I took that opportunity because they really want to hire me, I refuse it. I felt like I would need to give up everything. And then someone could say, look, Daniel, but you could work there for 2 years, and then after you save some money and you can spend on what what you want to develop. The problem is that what I want to develop is something more, what they would call nowadays. I was talking with this friend. He encouraged me to do this video. I'm grateful. His name is Solomon. If Solomon, you're watching this video, really grateful to you. It gives me inspiration to continue the YouTube channel. The thing is, what I want to develop, man, is not something that just money could develop. I need time to study. I need time to dedicate. I need the hours of solitude, to build that intellect for that, I truly believe that my work is to work with ideas, is to create new ideas. It's an intellectual work. When I'm working with ideas, I feel myself. You get what I mean? When I'm teaching someone, I feel myself. When I'm giving counseling to someone, I feel myself. I feel me. It's like I was built for that. There was a client that she said to me, that vocation is like your mission, your vocation is that feeling that it feels like, okay, let's put it this way. Vocation feels like heaven is touching earth. When you find something that you feel like you're touching heaven, that's your vocation. And there's nothing more accurate than that. For me, it's giving classes, to give counseling, and etc. To educate people, to give people formation. That's my thing. And I felt on the time that I would need to give up. I was reading some books, and that book is really, really good. And I couldn't read. Because why? Why I couldn't read? Because I didn't have the time. I was exhausted in the end of the day. And sometimes I arrive home and they send me more work, from nowhere. And that's the thing. That is the thing. So the world will make us feel tempted to look like we are okay, to look like we are happy, but it's an illusion, it's a temptation. I really like the book of Dostoevsky because he tells you, like Dostoevsky, if you see each one of his characters, you will see that each character, they could be in freaking pain, they could be freaking miserable externally, but you will see that they are so authentic. Like, if someone is a communist, he's a authentic communist. He's not this, crowd of LGBTQ people that just want to be like everyone. You know what I mean? They are crowd. They are not individuals. They are crowd. Like Ortega and Gasset would say. They're just the crowd. They are so individual. They are so inspirational. And you can find inspiration even someone that has totally opposite visions than you. You know what I mean? Like, some characters are, like I said, communists, nihilists, and etc. But they hold on that, And the thing is, like, in the Demons of Dostoevsky's book, he wrote 600 pages just to explain one Bible verse. And the Bible verse that he was trying to explain was the one that, because you're not hot and not cold, I will spill you. I will vomit you. And most of the people, unfortunately, they are not hot and they are not cold. Unfortunately. They are not really evil and they are not really good. They are not. Most people are just here, just want to live a good life, and that's it. They're warm. They don't have any goal that goes beyond themselves. And I had this on me really, really, in a really young age. Not saying that I'm better, but I had bad inclinations. really, really bad. So the question of evil and good was something to me that I needed to figure it out, man. I needed to figure it out, and I cannot give up on my vocation because of money. You know, what will be that money in 10 years? Maybe I will be rich. You get what I mean? I start a career there. They pay really well. I will help the children because I live in a country in Asia and the school culture is kind of like that. I help the children to win prizes, you know, like to win competitions, and then they give me a bunch of money, you know, and I have like, and I make, wow, good money here, you know, and living a relatively material life. But existentially, what is happening to me? I'm drowning. And how many people are rich but they have depression? How many people are rich and they have anxiety? And some people will say, but my anxiety is not because of my existential crisis. What is the connection between my existential crisis? You know, like, it doesn't have any connection. It's not about the philosophy. It's okay to think wrong. It's okay to think what I want to think. No, my friend. It has, you know, your existential position, your ideas is what give you the ground so you can recover from your anxiety, so you can recover from your depression, you know. It's something really sad when someone has a deterministic worldview. You know, I found someone in my bachelor that she was like that. I was offering her help, you know. I told her that there are methods that could cure her depression, especially the inner healing one. She just needs to find a good therapist and etc. But because she has these bad experiences, and because her idea got in kind of like a loop, she isolates herself and says, no, there's no hope. I already accepted it. So on that time, you cannot do anything. You get what I mean? You cannot do anything. You know, like the person just live a hopeless life. And they kind of start to be contempt. The problem is not accepting depression. They start to be contempt with being depressed, not desiring something more, being more, you know. It's so much waste of potential because she's such a incredible girl. She's really, really smart, you know. And there are many smart people. So most of the people are warm. And if we listen to them, they're not either hot, they're not cold. They're warm. And if we listen to them, if we listen to their expectations, we will be drowned with them too. And these people, man, is really tough because these people are people that we like. Are our parents, our friends, our school friends that we used to hang out and etc. Sometimes you will need to make the choice to leave your friends, you know? To leave your friends. How many times I didn't do that, and that hurts so much. Because the person comes back talking with you and you see that the person didn't leave that stage that they were. And nothing against them, you got what I mean? But it's just kind of like you feel the disconnection already. You guys don't click anymore. It's kind of like you move from that suffering, you transcended it, you've solved it, and the person is still there. You know, and not caring to solve the problem, you know? So, in our society, we are really tempted to look like we are. To look like we are something that we are not. In order to make other people happy. And this is a temptation that we will have until the end of our lives. You know, this will be something bothering us, like a finger, like this, until the moment of our death, I believe, no? It will be something that we were always dealing with, and little by little dealing with it better, with time, of course, and knowing how to, you know, take out the pain, you know, a little bit. You know, but making the decision of being authentic is the first thing. You know, so how can I solve this problem? How can I solve the problem of, you know, wanting to have someone to listen to my dreams and I don't have? First of all, my friend, you need to make the decision like I did too, and everything that I'm talking here, I would put my hand on fire because of this. You know what I mean? I lost so much because of the knowledge that I have. Not just money. Money is the cheapest thing, you know? Not just money. I'm talking about friendships. I'm talking about people that I used to talk. I'm talking about parents, relationships. I'm talking about a bunch of stuff. You get what I mean? That I lost in order to take this knowledge, in order to apply these things in my life. So the first thing, you need to stick with your authenticity. You need to stick with your dreams. Well, some people will call it dreams. In my case, I call it vocation because it's a mission that you have, and I believe that God gave you, you know, God gave you. You're so unique and you have a mission. You have good things inside you, even though you don't believe on it. You need to take these good things in you and stick on your mission to try to take away the pain of other people a little bit and make this existence not that painful, So stick with it. It's something noble. So the problem now is to manage the environment, and in some environments, and I'm talking about this from experience, I'm someone that from time to time I feel quite lonely, so this sometimes is a price that we need to pay, but the good thing is that this will purify you, you will need to deal with that loneliness. Some people cannot be alone, so you need to be willing to pay loneliness first. Second thing, what you need to do is try to find people that are similar to you, not in an exasperated way. If around you don't have anyone, try to see how to say, like, imagine that you have an author that you like so much, like some people like Jordan B. Peterson. Try to be in groups that they discuss. Oh, sorry, quite tired. Just came back from the classes. Try to see people that like to discuss ideas of Jordan B. Peterson. Like, we have so many resources online, and this is really good. Sometimes you will find people that are more interesting than you think. Traveling is also a good one. You never know what kind of people you will meet. And the most important one, and this is because I'm a Christian, I'm Catholic, pray to God. Even though you don't believe in God, pray to God. Even though you don't believe in God, pray to God. Just pray. You will see the effects on it, even psychologically. But just pray to God, saying that you want friends, you want people that understand you, you want people that you can have a good time talking about things that are transcendental, talking about authenticity, talking about things that really matter, not just bullshit. Because most people just want to talk about bullshit. You get what I mean? I like to talk about things in deep, So this is the thing, like, this is the importance of authenticity. Of course, I'm not an example of anything. I just share a little bit my experience so you guys don't feel that you are lonely in the journey. You get what I mean? So if anything was helpful, please leave the like. And also comment here what you think about that and your experience too, because it might help someone in the future. Okay? So, and subscribe to the channel. Okay, see you guys and leave a sane weekend.